Okay,
Up
we are
here,
live.
is everybody ready? All right, call the meeting of the Redevelopment Authority to order. And all of our board members are here except for Charles Wallace. Public participation, there's no one from the public here. Again, we'll at least put on the record a welcome to Mike.
Yeah.
You don't go there all the comes, make you give your speech again. But, again, it's great to have you here, great to have you in the Redevelopment Authority as well. And Redevelopment Authority has been pretty active recently. I think you'll see some more activity coming through on this one. That's why the meeting is second.
Yeah, it's long, yeah.
Because it tends to
can believe that.
be longer. So again, welcome.
Thank you.
And then
Glad to
of
be
course, departures for George. And we won't make you give your speech again though. At the end, we'll hold it open for you to say whatever you want to say to us. So you can tell us what you really think about us, how this experience has been for you. But George, again, you're gonna be missed. And your impact here, I don't know who's gonna fill those shoes, but
We've been doing this a long time.
Look at us.
We got on this board in 2002, or no, 2003.
Yeah. That's right.
Fresh out of college for you, George.
Neither of you look any older, right?
I know I'm older than George. I know when he graduated high school and
Yeah, I think it was 03 we started.
yeah.
And,
Was.
like you said, the Development Authority was strict. Rather, we moved from the Housing Authority over behind.
Yeah.
10, then I resigned from the board and became staff.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I resigned from Housing Authority and came this way.
Mhm.
Thank you for that. Whoever.
You're the longest tenured board member, I think, in the whole county. The only other one,
Stack.
I think you have it. I don't think he was on the board before you. You might be the longest
I'm not sure.
on this.
I'm not sure what that means.
You've been serving us.
Is that what?
Yeah.
You can't find anybody else. And for all of you, yeah, you're stuck. That's like a lifetime appointment.
Another offer.
What happens? That's what happens. You'll be here eating donuts after the next executive director retires 25 years from now.
What happens when you're so good, Matt?
Oh, okay, yeah.
We had a board member that was on the board for 40 years.
Wow.
They left me pedigree.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Housing.
He died. He was 93 years old. He's from still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
I
awesome.
think it was great.
He was 40 years.
On housing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta look forward. I'm 53, so 40 years I'll be 93.
There you go.
Maybe I'll still be here.
Let me pass. He was 93, and he was still on the board. I think he was declining a little bit with his
Right.
physical capabilities. So
You sharp.
his family, he was still sharp. But his family didn't want him to get off, so I think he got off the board and he died the next year.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
He wasn't off the board long, maybe 6 months or something.
You should have stayed there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so that's why you have to stay on board.
No, my friends are doctors. Tell me, because my mom is 80 and she's still working. Like, if she can still work,
Yeah.
she wants it, she enjoys it.
Yeah.
Because the moment you stop doing anything, you stop.
Keep that brain moving.
As long as you enjoy it.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
enjoying it.
Absolutely.
No stress.
Yeah, yes. Yes. All right. Approval of the minutes. So we have the February minutes. In that meeting. I just take a look at them. If there's a motion to approve. Okay, that's right. Is there a second? Second on the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right. I don't think we need an executive session. Financial review. Same thing, we're gonna go to the May
Yes.
and be on that schedule, which is fine. I'll spare you my speech again. But the redevelopment authority, because we've had so much more activity, is tighter on budget than what land bank is. Just have to be really mindful. We did actually bring in a nice amount of cash when Michael Brown homes were sold. So we sold 5 of the 6. And that's several years ago, but we did return dollars back into the redevelopment. So that was a positive. And that's helped us kind of keep afloat. All right, new business, similar to land bank, different banks. We have Truist and Mid-Penn, and we need to remove George and add Vince to those accounts. So, any questions on those? Again, same process. We need 2 people to.
Who's the second signature?
Process, we used to sign checks. We used to get a stack from all. You track me down at the end of the week, and now it's all electronic. And really the approvals, I get a list from Tim. Every week-ish, you're doing a check run for both, and I'm just documenting approval, review each one, document approval. And it's a pretty good process. So is there a motion on the resolution?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And I did get, I want to check with, I guess you, Tim, I did get an email, I can show it to you. You know, that came through, which I almost deleted. But I think it's from Mid-Penn. I think it is legit. Maybe K?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah, normally I don't, like if somebody says this is a bank, then I don't do banking with it. Here's my password.
No.
Okay, all right, I'll show it to you, but so I can now get that approved at least from Mid-Penn and then we'll do. All right, under new business, item 2, authorization of CNA. Slightly different because the fiscal year is different. Recall the fiscal year for Redevelopment Authority is June 30, really July 1 to June 30. Whatever reason, it's different than the land bank, just to keep us on our toes. So this is, we need to have this audit completed as well. And I just throw it back to you, George. We need this for the audit that actually has to be completed for June 30, 2025. And then we're going to quickly go into the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026 with the extension. So this would cover both of those periods. And this one.
RFQ.
Yes. Yes. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, George, but I just didn't. It needs to be correct on the record, land bank, but this contract is $10,000, but it's 2 years. And the land bank, I think, is actually 5. Yeah, is 5,965. So that,
Corrections in the minutes on that. So land bank, the half the price.
right. So the land bank is a year in here, that one.
I was reading the redevelopment.
The redevelopment authority, because we're already delayed. And we're coming right up onto this next fiscal year. This was looking like getting both of those really done.
5,965 for the land
Right.
bank. And 10,000, the number I read for the land bank. So you
Right.
Okay.
The redevelopment authority,
What's that, 10,000?
right? And we would continue this for the essentially 2 audits. Is the sort of 24-25 audit, the 25-26 audit, which would be upcoming. The RFQ, the land banks will start, as we discussed it, for the 26 audit, and the redevelopment authority, we would look, that starts beginning of 26 7 fiscal year. So we just have that timing difference between the two. typically they flow right through one to the next. They're sort of always here working, I think, because of the way, maybe that's what the timing actually helps that they're doing, kind of doing these on opposite times. These are critical. I mean, when we get these, it gives us a great picture as they do put together financial statements, for us pulling from the system. So they are faster they get them done, of course, the more relevant the info is, but it does give us a very good picture of those audited statements of where our financial position is through those years. Questions on this? Are people comfortable with the 2 years on this one, the 2 audits? A little worried that if we delay, I mean, we could move an RFQ quickly, but then we're bringing right in on to June. But certainly not. I don't feel overly strongly if somebody really is worried wants RFQ for both those, starting this summer. I think we could tackle that, but this does give a kind of smooth transition into the next phase.
Okay.
Is there a motion authorizing ZNA contract?
You said 2 years?
Yeah. The 24-25 audit and 25-26
Also.
audit.
Motion.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that motion carries. All right, thanks. And we do, again, it's special service. We don't have to RFQ these. We have traditionally done that. And I know there's been a bigger push, certainly with new commissioners. This new board that they want to see those things done. So, and I think we need to live up to that. As an entity.
I think as a cure, probably just make sure that after, let's say, this meeting, whatnot, we start the motion
Yeah.
for the next one, just to.
Get the ball rolling.
Yeah. If we could get that, certainly May or June, definitely to be able to get that out there, get the responses in, that gives us plenty of time for the next one. We'll have to start at the beginning of 27. And if we have a new auditor coming in, there's a lot of companies that can do this stuff. And I think the pricing kind of gets pretty close. because
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
they all know each other. I don't know whether you guys using Susquehanna and they all sort of run their
Makes it round.
circles. Right?
Yeah, we have CA for it's about that. So
Yeah.
it's on.
They've been around for a long time. There's a lot of work to do. Okay. Staff reports, whole home repairs.
For me?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we did just get an email for monitoring, which I think we,
Just that I haven't even looked at my,
okay,
okay.
yeah.
So, correct. Just for Mike, we have received a whole home repair grant, back in 23, state funded. It was $2.8 million. It's mainly for whole home repairs, ADA compliance issues, health and safety issues, critical issues, not just because I'm or a grant counter. But we had a tight timeline, have a tight timeline that we have to spend that actually to be spent by the end of this year.
Okay.
So, and I mean, I can.
What was that number again? 2.2?
We took 2.8, that's $2,811,276 to be exact. So it worked. As of December 31st, 25, we have spent $1,505,000, $590. So the state, I
500.
I'm sorry,
What did you say? 1 million?
$1,505,590.
And there is a workforce development piece to that grant where we partnered with the South Central Workforce Investment Board to do workforce training for low-income individuals to learn a trade, be carpentry, masonry, electric, plumbing, whatever it may be. So 400,000 of the 2.8 went directly to, had to go to a workforce development piece. So they've been drawing down those dollars as well. I think they're pretty much suspended?
They are,
Are they done?
no,
I see
they
those
have,
checks, those come through on a.
Yeah.
they're pretty close. They're pretty close. to
Has
being
everything,
done.
but it has not all been paid out.
No,
What their component of the,
No,
okay.
they have about $47,000 left.
Is the 1.5 checks have been cut out the door, or is that just what's committed?
I know that's checks up.
Checks out the door, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had me do a forecast, the state did, so we've completed 16 units to date as of 12/31, forecasting about 26 units.
so we
There
had
is a lot in the works right
Do you know how much is left for the rate?
So just for the rehab part, 12/31/25, we had spent $966,000.
And then so then balance is workforce investment board. The 1.5 is what that's been given to them.
There was admin, and there was also
Okay.
provisions and enhancements, which was being paid out to our former consultant.
Okay.
So there is some funding that we're going to talk to the city about to see if we can move just a couple more, maybe squeeze in 3 or 4 more houses.
Okay.
So,
Now, if we hire though, because we've requested, like we had a staffer, maybe I don't know if this came up in the last meeting, we had a staffer who retired who was just dedicated to this program.
Okay.
And I shouldn't say that, maybe doing some other stuff out in the office, but focusing largely on this program. He retired. Prior to that, we had a consulting firm doing kind of that work. So we're without that person. We've been for several months now.
February, he retired.
We're in a we requested being hiring. I think that's moving forward, but
It hasn't been placed on the agenda.
it takes some time.
It was on the agenda, but it wasn't posted.
It wasn't posted, it was approved, it wasn't posted. There was approval to post. I'm not sure, I guess.
I did not
It was last
see
week.
the last one
Yeah.
that it was posted as of
Gotcha.
yet.
And that employee's county employee. It's not, we don't have employees. And they will, George tells me, will continue on
Yeah, so
in the home program, which is not ours.
it's a program coordinator 2 position. And what this person will do is finish out this grant, right? And then this grant expires, whole homes repair expires in December 31st, 2026.
Right.
So if these dollars aren't spent that we have left over, the state's gonna recapture.
Right.
And what will happen is the people that have applied to this program are on that list, they won't get any dollars from this program. What we can do, what we are gonna do, is we're gonna flip them over to our home program, which is a federal program, CDBG home. And then we have this very similar program underneath the home program called the home rehab program. And then they'll be able to get their houses completed for code violation deficiencies, whatever it may be in the scope of work that they need. So then this person will just flip over to that program and they'll get paid out of building homes. Now, the home program is not under this board, so you guys will have no more involvement after December 31st, 2026 with any of that type of stuff. My recommendation was years ago, which had never happened, for the CDBG and home program to be flipped over to this authority. You guys should have oversight of those federal programs. That would allow you to infuse some cash into this authority. Should have been done years ago, it wasn't done. I'll take full blame for it, but whatever.
They do tie, I mean, that's a commissioner's decision, but it does tie with redevelopment.
Well, it's not a commission decision. It would be the EDC and you, yeah,
Well,
they don't need to be involved. in that.
if they decide that they want to flip
They
it over
don't.
to
I
here,
mean, because they have,
it does tie into if those boards, whoever has to approve it, it does, CDBG, home, those things do tie into the redevelopment authority agenda. Now, it's all funneling through your office, so
Right.
obviously it's high, but if you want them more ingrained into sort of what we're doing,
The majority,
that makes sense.
the majority of the CDBG and home programs are administered under redevelopment funds. If you look at the state of PA, we may be like 1% of that. I don't know that there's any redevelopment authorities that don't administer those programs.
Well, it's probably because this was down at the housing authority, and those programs generally fit under the umbrella where the commissioners are resigned.
Right.
So, I can understand.
So,
But my whole point on this, George, of course, being very selfish on our board is whenever this person is hired, we're really close to deadline. I
yeah,
mean, it could take a month, 2 months, whatever, and you have Deb working this. And as I see this program, it takes sort of two big things. Qualifying, assigning, approving, doing that paper behind us, getting that done. And then
I have.
the outreach, I'm just saying the outreach and review, like walking into the houses, talking to the people, making sure they're happy, making sure the work got done. And reporting back to ensure everything is good.
Yeah, I have contractors that are ready to have more people, more homes to repair. I just haven't even gotten a chance to qualify.
Right.
I mean, it's hurting seeing this person. It's, 3 months.
Yeah, I'll say it
And it's
because
a
you don't
lot.
want to say it. I mean,
well,
Dan Robinson's no longer in the office. George is retiring. We lost Mike, who retired, who's running this program. I know you guys do more than just what we see. What we see alone is a lot. It's not required. It's a lot, and this is the one deadline that really is meaningful because the money disappears if we don't get it right. So,
and I wish, it was a Tuesday. I had to go with Deborah and 2 contractors up to Halifax to talk to a homeowner. So when I go out, obviously there's a problem. So, and obviously I'm not gonna mention who it was or whatever, but to see how this person was living is you can't fathom living like that. I mean, when I went into this trailer, it was absolutely horrible. I'm like, we have to help this lady. I don't care what it is. I don't even know how you would live like that. And it's upsetting to see people out there that are living like that day to day. And I mean, she works, but it was just horrifying to see. And you need to go out and see the projects and see how people are living in the county and all over the place. I mean, it's sad to see that people live like that. And Deb knows, I mean, that's a tough project. But the problem was she didn't want to move and she wasn't listening to Deb or whatever. But when I came out, I'm not taking credit.
okay.
I mean, I'm like, listen, and Deb knows that's tough to deal with that type of situation. So I told her, listen, you gotta move. You can't live like this. You can't live like this. If you gotta move, if we found another place 3 miles away, you gotta move because we can't repair this house. It doesn't make sense to. So it costs too much money. Let us get you another place to live. You may have to drive a couple miles farther, but you gotta do it. And she listened to me, didn't she, Deb?
She did. She did.
When's she moving into your place?
But with that, yeah, seriously, with that being said, now, there's still more legwork. It's, there's still a lot more.
Picking up a tent.
That is a joke for the record.
That is.
That's funny.
No, but she's got to move, and that was it's a good program. We got to make sure they continue to run successfully.
Yeah. No, there's no question. And we have the money. That's the.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking $1 million hanging around plus.
And it's easy to say she's going to move, but on the back end of that, there's a lot of work.
Well,
One,
right.
finding a place for her to move to.
Fixing it. different contractor. in,
potentially, you know,
Timing it, yeah, that's well, it's important to spend these dollars. There was a lot of attention to this program. I don't know, Vince, you were in those meetings a year and a half, 2 years ago when it started. A lot of public comment coming in, particularly from one person. I haven't seen hanging around much anymore. But it was, I get it. It's an important program and yeah, we don't want to rely that this thing will extend it or anything. We gotta get it spent.
Are these, you said there's work on the books yet still?
oh yeah.
Or, so,
We opened and closed this program within 4 hours, the application. We-
okay,
The
We
main-
anticipated to do 40 to 50 homes at 50,000 each. Obviously, not all of them were going to go to 50,000. We received 130 applications. And I still get calls, emails, multiple daily.
okay.
So how much backlog do we have? Like on the application, like,
Oh,
If-
no, you figure there's
Like,
probably about 70 to 80 applications yet.
yeah,
okay,
And I don't even take applications anymore.
I wonder how many, I wonder about the actual need, versus what we can do.
well, the problem is you gotta qualify.
Well,
Just because I submit an application doesn't mean
Oh,
I
yeah.
qualify for
Exactly.
the program.
Yeah.
And that's the part, the administration part that we need from that program coordinator. So they have to make sure that they own the house, they paid their taxes, they're low income.
Utilities are up to
Utilities are
date,
in their
you're gonna
name.
pay taxes.
There's a lot of due diligence, and you gotta think, that sounds easy, like we're talking about this, but you may not be able to get a hold of somebody. Like I'm calling, I'm calling Tim, he's not answering, another day goes by, I'm calling him back, oh, call me Friday. Friday comes, oh, I don't have time, then it goes to another. So, I mean, it's a process, you gotta stay on top of it. It's not just here's your paperwork, we're
You
done.
tell them that you need X, Y, and Z, and they, 1 week they'll send you X.
Yeah.
They, it's,
Yeah.
and when you don't have a dedicated person, it's even worse.
Right.
but I think, I'm trying to think like, and I know, that because there's a qualification process. And not everyone who applies may actually be eligible anyway, even if they miss, they're qualified, they miss something of the qualification, but there's an actual need. And I know it's this outside the scope, but I'm wondering, they need help, we can't do it, who else can help them? So that might be,
And that's just that there's such a lack of resources.
Yeah.
Habitats, excuse me, their funding is closed right now. I have 3 or 4 other ones that I try to refer them to. But across the board, nobody has any funds.
I mean, there's funds for certain issues, Fred, like HVACs, furnaces, you got the weatherization program out there. I mean, but they're not gonna do everything that we do.
yeah.
They're only gonna do certain things, maybe windows, whatever, insulation, whatever, but they're not doing, drywall, toilets, ADA compliant, ramping. They're not doing that. So to your question, I mean, that your question probably can't be answered because we don't know, number one, we don't know who qualifies in that, we'll call it 70 to 80 list that we have. But once we did qualify, we have to go out and see what the need is. I mean, it's gonna be big because
Sounds like to me like, hey, state reps, maybe you can think about this.
well,
I know Shapiro tried to get more dollars into the program
Yeah.
in the last cycle last year.
it did.
And it didn't materialize.
Yeah.
But there is the home program. I mean, there are other, self weatherization, some others, but but this program, I think this was all from COVID money,
Yes.
so it was.
But the problem is, you guys got me on my soapbox now. Here's the problem. So this program, like I said, Shapiro rolled it out. Everybody,
Yeah.
rah, 2023. So they came to Dauphin County. Shapiro did, and they had a big soiree. Representative Paxton, he
Yeah.
came out, whatever. Did a little grand, little press secretary type thing, presentation. And I never met him, and he was walking around. I went up to him. I said, Governor, listen, this program's, it's all good and dandy, but the problem is it doesn't help seniors, right? I said, you need a program that's strictly for 62 and over, because you have some seniors in here, some, but they're not all senior citizens. So the senior citizens are the ones that are hurting. They're on a fixed income, right? They have deficiencies in their home, but if they don't get their application in before other people, they're not going to get any help. And they're the ones that really need help. So really it needs to be two separate programs, like 62 and older, and then everybody else that needs help. And he's like, talk to your state rep. So, I mean, I'm not bad mouthing the governor. I'm just telling you. So
Is he the one
he might be
that's on there?
on that.
Well, we might have to send it back to him and, hey, since you're, after your 2 weeks of self-care, then you're due for another one.
I'm just saying, that's a problem.
Yeah. No,
So,
thanks, Dan.
To end on a high note, maybe I'll just speak here, is that, and George and Deb can speak to this because they've gone out there, but the projects that have been completed and that are done, I mean, these homeowners are beyond,
Yeah.
like, it is like changing for that, as George said. So yes, we might be fixing some windows and changing a door, but for them, that means their house is going to be one.
Yeah.
So it's a good project. It's
It is.
a lot of work, and
It is.
Deb's done a lot, I think, and she's really stepped up to the plate, so.
absolutely.
But to make it even higher note, do we have
Everyone's not out
got
doing it.
anything that they kind of tells everyone else, hey, we're actually doing something good? Because the how it goes, right? People say, oh, you're not doing anything because everyone hears is all about the complaint. But the actual things that this authority has done, this need to be packaged for public consumption, and these are the things that we've actually.
Yeah, I mean, we've never really done like a PR press piece, annual plan or whatever. I mean, because they cost money. We'd rather invest the money into the projects in the community rather than tout on what we do. It's not about us, it's about the resident. So, but I mean, that's up to you guys. If that's something you want to do in the future, you do a piece, a nice, one booklet or whatever it may be to show some of the projects we've done. I mean, we've done that before, but it's internal.
It's internal.
It's internal.
It doesn't have to be expensive, like could be like this electronic document, just a year-end report type of thing.
Right.
And then just throw in some pictures, strictly PDF file, download it's on the website of the county. Because we know the costs are real.
Right.
Obviously, there's gonna be people who need to work on these things, but it's something
Right,
that
I agree with you. You just gotta find somebody to do it, because staff doesn't have time to do that.
you'll get some information.
Deb, you wanna do that?
You have like a
I
week.
have no comment.
Maybe this one.
Yeah.
Maybe this- No, that makes sense though, Fred. I mean,
We've had this conversation, hasn't been recent, but in the past, it's just, then every once in a while in their old offices, a picture would show up on the wall. Even going back to the vets building of something that we did, like, okay, we put that out, we gotta,
Fred,
touting a project we did, but it has been hard to,
Like,
do it someone to
consistency.
just consistently do an annual report.
we used to do that, Fred. So, no, cut you off. But Fred, we used to do that. Back in the day, in the early 2000s, we did that. And what happened was, we did commercials, the commissioners did commercials back then. We had press pieces, we had annual plans, whatever it may be. The problem for us, what happened was our programs got oversubscribed. So all of our programs that we have in this office, we don't have enough money to fund them all. So we stopped advertising, we stopped marketing, we stopped doing that stuff because we didn't need to do it. There's no need to do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you're wrong, I'm just saying, we did it. And everybody's submitting applications, and then you got gaming 22 million worth of applications for $10 million. CDBG, we only get 1.4 million. You got $8 million worth of applications. It's oversubscribed. So yeah, it's good to tout on what you do, but that brings in more attraction, right? We can't help the people that we have the money now. As she said, we had 130 applications in 4 hours. Well, I told her, I said, Dad, shut it off. We're done. We can't even help the people, half the people on the list. And what happened was people kept walking into the office, hand delivering their applications. We couldn't stop them online because they had printed it out. They're handing them in. I was like, oh my God, like, we got 100 applications. I'm sorry, I'm going to take your application, but we're never going to get your house because we don't have money. They're like, what are you talking about? I'm handing them an application. Well, thank you, but we don't have enough money to help you. So, right? I mean, that's what happened with that.
Oh, I have a lady that calls me, like, we're on a first name basis. Can you please find it in your heart to move my application up on the list?
Oh.
Every week she calls,
I got
every
some
week.
I had one of those calls yesterday.
So,
Everybody wants to be moved up on the list.
Yeah.
You can't do it. That's tough.
no, that's okay. Your last meeting, man. I'm gonna just keep going. We're usually done with these meetings by now.
It's okay.
Vince got stuck.
I'm getting texts from different commissioners.
Where are you?
What are you doing, man? Tell Connor to shut up.
I got a tracker on you. They know you're sitting right here. All right. So homes, thank you. And that's a good, obviously a really good overview of what's going on there.
Yeah.
It's been a big program for us the last 2 years. EPA brownfields, Mike, for your benefit, we've had a series of grants from EPA. So we were on our third one. This one was $500,000, and we've been able to do everything from studies like we did on the state hospital to phase 1, phase 2 work on just blighted properties, environmentally hazardous properties. We are working our way through this $500,000. EPA really likes it when you spend it fast. They want to see it deployed. So we try to do it wisely, but we're deploying it. We have a big project that we're supporting with Sarah, with HIA on the old Crawford Station land, which is in Middletown Borough. It was an old electric coal-fired power plant from decades and decades ago.
Okay.
And I grew up in Middletown. It was not operating in the 70s when I was growing up.
Where that's at. Where-
It was right on the end of the runway
Yeah.
on the south side.
I would have played the private planes are at.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it was knocked down years ago. The smokestacks were the last thing to go, so you wouldn't even know it was there.
Okay.
Other than the coal that's kind of all around.
Okay.
But it is still an environmentally problematic site, and but Sarah has ownership of it. They're trying to redo it. We came in with dollars out of this program, and we've also been a conduit. Because we're a better conduit for access to state funds,
Okay.
and it's a multi.
That was a
multi-
$500,000 grant.
Yeah. Now we put in 100 and I don't know, ish, something like that. Of our funds have gone into it that we committed, and then the other dollars have done projects here and there that have been priority projects for communities. Do phase 1s mostly to get those projects moving. And again, it's always what's the end use, like what's going on,
Yeah.
why are we putting this money in? And early on, we tied a lot of those to, George alluded to a study we did when we kind of first reconstituted this. We did a county-wide study of blighted properties and areas where there could be potential reuse. And we tried to match those dollars up to some of those projects.
Okay.
So, and we still have, the report just came through.
It did just come through.
Yeah,
which
we're
is
getting
awesome.
down to under 6 figures
Oh, yeah.
in that
I
program. And
want to
we,
say we're like at 140 something.
yeah, and that program typically runs on the federal budget cycle. So we're coming up to another one, and we work very closely with consultants on this one, KU Resources. We have a woman whose name is Jill Gato, former DEP Deputy Secretary, engineer, has been around environmental work for her entire career. She has been really valuable in working with us help us get these EPA dollars. She's an EPA expert and has incredible credibility with that. But, and then we work with that consultant to get these projects done. So, and they come in from time to time and give us reports.
Thank you.
And the hope always is, you're doing these things, at this kind of initial level on environmental. EPA has a lot of money, so you find the big one, and then they, you hope they come in then and we'll see they already started funding it and bring in the real money. Like you start thinking of steel mill environmental work. Like that's the kind of one that you could really start to see. We had it tied into the state hospital. Totally didn't move forward, but that had a lot of environmental work that needed to be done in those buildings in the area. And we were trying to tee that up to go through that.
Okay.
So. All right, and the report, I think just got sent out to everybody, so it just came in.
I will forward it to
Yeah,
everybody.
so you can take a look at that, you'll see the projects that are in there. Great program though. Rep, I don't know if we have anything we need to talk about on rep.
I'm just going to go back a second. On
Okay.
the report that will be sending you, there's work order number 6, which will have to go onto the agenda for next month. Since it
Okay.
didn't make it this month.
Okay,
It's okay with you, Matt?
yeah, that's fine, it's a new project,
Yes.
okay. We approve every project under the EPA grant, so the consultant brings them to us, or we bring them to them, but either way, we're approving every single project individually. So nothing it doesn't just happen based on the consultant deciding what they want to do. Rep, we're kind of a pass-through. So I don't, George out of the room, I don't know if he has any updates. We talked about it a little bit at the last meeting, so we probably can leave that for future meetings. The final under old business, the research enterprise development contract. Yeah, just by way of background, this started continues as a partnership with Penn State Harrisburg and their research activities as they've worked to take those research activities and try to turn them into additional grant opportunities for workforce development, for research support, and also ultimately how that transfers into jobs and projects, job creation, business location in the region. So it's kind of a pilot that started with them. They were doing it on their own, coming in for gaming grants, and they've been successful in achieving some gaming grants. And but it was very singular to Penn State. Of course, we have other universities in the area, of course, including College of Medicine and the other Penn State apparatus around, but also Harrisburg University. There's the WIB. There's all these other kind of entities that were in that space. Bringing it through the Redevelopment Authority kind of opened it up. Still with Penn State coordinating, but that there would be additional resources that could come in when they're going after big federal and state money. So a report went out. A report went out with a consultant that we have hired, who's a former Penn State employee who worked in the research office, and that has been going on now for several years, either independent with Penn State or now with us. This is the last extension on this grant, which is gaming funded. So it's gaming to the Redevelopment Authority. We hired the consultant. Our scope of work as the consultant is working with all these various entities, sort of with Penn State at the center, Penn State Harrisburg at the center of it, going after federal and state grants. So what you'll see in that report is just everything they're going after, what's pending, what's still active, and what they've leveraged so far for the value of this contract. I think it's over $1 million of grants that have been achieved. And you can see the list of grants that are pending. Mainly federal, but there's some state and some other sort of nonprofit foundation kind of related things in there. And you can see the teams they put together as part of their grant proposals, which are really Dauphin County centric groups like South Central Workforce Investment Board, Harrisburg University, Penn State, going after those grants. So it's been an interesting process. Paul Hallaker is the consultant. Paul's been in here to give presentations. We've also had him give us these written, just written updates for us. This would be his last extension because then the money will be gone. We kind of saw this coming last year when we extended it. We just didn't want to go more than a year. And his burn rate showed it that would just go into a couple months, going into that. I think it's what Terry was talking about, maybe. We saw this.
Yeah,
Sounded like it. This money probably is gone in September.
Yeah.
Is what it is. This is separate and apart from a sort of different agreement we have with Penn State Harrisburg, where the Redevelopment Authority was the applicant for a gaming grant last year. We were awarded $150,000 to support a Penn State project that was essentially built, I don't want to call it an incubator, because it's really not an incubator. It's sort of a design lab, technology lab with I say College of Medicine, kind of college, they split that College of Medicine and the medical center. So it's that entity, Penn State entity there, looking at engineering side of medical technology. So they're looking to design devices. And they have a lab. I think you toured it, George, didn't you? They have a space that in their engineering building they've totally gutted and redone to be this kind of lab where they can collaborate and create these devices as prototypes and then try to spin those out. So that's coming through here as well. I mean,
Okay.
George and I kind of negotiated that with them as if it's just Penn State, that's great. Like, wonderful, you're doing this stuff. But, universities, it falls into the abyss, and they love to do research for research. They were trying to pull that out and they saw it. Like, how can we then tie in other resources? So you're doing these great things. Let's make sure it benefits all. That was kind of and they are, if you look around this area, they're our only true research institution, technology research institution, cranking out tons of engineers. So that's the largest major, and trying to tap into that. They're not a true tier. They're not a tier one, right? They're not Insignia. They're not University of Pittsburgh or anything else. But they're there.
The largest.
They're doing it.
Branch campus now, right?
They are.
So it's good.
Yeah, they are, and they're doing real research, and they're really committed. They're really committed to it. And they got a lot of sponsored projects from local businesses. So if we keep helping them build that, showing them we're a good partner, I think helps Penn State continue to want to invest into that campus. Rather than somewhere else.
Middletown borough as well. I mean, it's trying to build a synergy between the campus and the borough
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
students to incorporate downtown and help the economic
Yeah.
development piece there. I mean, that's important to
Yeah.
us.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and this is the last sort of extension with Paul. I don't know that this is the last we'll ever see Paul. Maybe he's going to retire. I don't know. Paul is retired, but he's going to come back to help. Paul was, I knew Paul from kind of a previous career where I worked at the state. I worked at the Department of Commerce for community economic development. Was heavily involved in the 90s on just kind of technology stuff back then. And Paul was the top guy in the University Park research office going after big federal grants. And so he knows that stuff inside now as well. It's been tougher with the current administration down in Washington because they put a hold on a lot of, your own opinion, rightly or wrongly, but the universities are not doing as well in big research stuff as was in the past. But he's still at it. So this contract is extended to the end of the year, ends June 30, and Kayla's done the agreement, and he'll be done, I think, well before the December 31st. But that gets finished.
Just a note in there, if anyone didn't notice it, we put that this was the last extension.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I did not see that.
Yes.
Yeah, that ends it. And gaming has some end dates, I think. This was a group of the gaming funds that were unrestricted. It was a mix of some funds that came into this that we put all together.
right.
And
Well, I mean, these
got
are,
done.
you know, for me, these are the type of partnerships that this authority should,
Yeah,
obviously, development or whatever it may be, but this technology stuff is big. I mean, and it helps economic development, in local small boroughs and townships, whatever it may be. I mean, this is a big project. When it starts, it's gonna spread, right? The technology piece, bringing in more students, the number one brand campus now that weren't years ago.
right.
That's why I graduated. But, I mean, it's the number one campus that we have this.
Yeah.
So that's why this authority's here. Partnerships are big for us, and they make you guys look good, and the commissioners as well, but you guys are doing diligence to help out with agreements like this and partnerships.
And we got these two unbelievable locations between Penn State and Harrisburg, particularly all their engineers and Hershey Ag. The research and stuff going on there.
That's
Really realizing what those guys are doing to get jobs out, and particularly if they can do this prototyping to get manufacturing jobs back then.
that's
To produce some of these things, even if it's prototyping and, would be great. You know, keep that stuff, this little, create a little, keep a little hub here.
it helps everything. Like
Yeah.
you don't realize how it the domino effect with the residential housing, the housing market goes up. You got people making sustainable job, salary, small business, spark off of that. Everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And you
Gotta-
see Hershey now. I mean, the Middletown now, they got the other hotel built. We got Wawa came in, Sheets is there. I mean, they're popping up all over the place, and that's gonna. Penn State is what's sparking. As
You
well as
really
the
gotta
Penn
work
Station
it.
as well.
On the economic development side, man, you gotta really work it because they will just kind of go in-house,
Yeah.
sort of do their thing, license out their tech and really get the roots planted on the economic development side. You just gotta be there.
And it's big because my niece she's a sophomore down at Florida A&M University. She just got an internship at Hershey, right? But she's staying at Penn State. I mean, the students are coming up there. I mean, it's impressive of what they've done. And, for us to be partnered, and I think it's really good. Yeah.
So that's what that's all about. Just wanted to give that, we've had presentations on this over the years. A lot of discussion about it. A couple of years ago to get this kind of put into place. But that's what this is, and this is kind of getting toward the end of that, but hopefully not the end of a longer term relationship. Okay. Any questions, comments? Everyone comfortable with this? Is there a motion to approve the contract extension?
This is approving to the end of this year, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Extending
Yeah,
it to the end of
and
this year.
last extension,
Basically
under
adding
this-
another 6
under this
months to
grant.
it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He bills every month. And it's a pure consulting engagement. He's putting together applications and, grant, work, putting teams together. So it's for his time. And he's probably, what's his burn rate? 2,000 to maybe 5
Yeah.
a month. Depending on, it's all on time. It's all on this time. So it's not just a retainer or like a standard monthly fee. It's
Yeah.
what is he going after? That's why it's always a little, where are we gonna end up in terms of how long this contract lasts? It's just, because he's only working when there's opportunities. Probably would have been done if the rate of grants out there was the same as it was previous, but it slowed down a little bit, so. All right, is there a motion to approve the contract extension? Okay, it's been moved. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, ethics forums. Got to do a separate one. Can be the same thing. Photocopy, write a different name in. One's gonna be Land Bank. One's gonna be Redevelopment Authority. No other questions on that or comments? All right, great meeting. I mean, I feel like we got a lot of new energy. I miss the old guys, but I love the new guys.
Yeah.
It's it definitely refreshes, and I think that's great. Like yeah, I feel like we're
looking
heading
forward
down
to
a
it.
really good direction here. Yeah, great. All right, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion. Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, guys.
And we will try to keep these meetings quick.
Yeah, sure.
This is probably